And welcome back to a special edition of America Decides live from Philadelphia. CBS News will be fact-checking claims made by both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump after tonight's debate. Our own Major Garrett will be tackling this endeavor, and Major joins us now. Yep. Good to see you. So I know you fact-checked all the statements, or at least as many as we could, by both Trump and President Biden after that last debate back in June. But with Harris taking the stage tonight, it is a different kind of debate. I'm curious how you are approaching this tonight. Is it any different?
Well, first of all, Caitlin, great to be with you. Second of all, I won't be doing this work by myself. We have a CBS News confirmed team of producers and journalists who will be going over everything the candidates say tonight to check them on their accuracy. And you said as we went to break that we're going to keep them honest. Caitlin, you know and I know, no matter how big a team I have behind me, we cannot keep any political figure honest. What we can do is hold them accountable for things that they might want to persuade voters they haven't said in the past, or make exaggerated claims that need to be rooted into reality. That's the essence of fact-checking. It's not to harass political figures. It's to weigh their rhetoric against available, verifiable facts, either in their record and speeches or in statistics about what has happened or what their proposals might create in the future. And to the degree that our CBS confirmed team can do that work, we will do it to our best tonight.
Yeah, and that is to the service of our viewers who are getting inundated with so much information and more to come tonight. As you mentioned, I mean, you can't check the veracity of every single claim made by each of these candidates. But what issues in particular are you going to focus on for both these candidates? Let's start with Trump, for example.
Well, I expect, and if Tim Murtaugh is any example of this, and I certainly believe he is because he's a senior advisor to former President Trump's campaign, there will be a lot of discussion about what the economy was during the Trump presidency, what it was during the Biden-Harris administration, same thing on immigration, same thing on crime. Those are statistically verifiable claims. Former President Trump makes all sorts of the most extravagant and indefensible claims, for example, about immigration. He says 8 million, 10 million, 12 million, 20 million. He keeps amplifying the numbers. Those numbers can be rooted and verified, and we will do that if necessary. He also makes extravagant claims about his economic record, the best that there ever was. We know statistically that's not true, not in terms of GDP growth, not in terms of employment, not in terms of other statistical measurements like stock market growth. So those are kinds of things we can evaluate because we are familiar with the rhetoric from former President Trump. If he uses it again tonight, we will fact check him on that. Same thing with Kamala Harris as vice president. She may try to recharacterize certain hard truths about immigration during the Biden-Harris administration, what the numbers were, what they are now. If she exaggerates or downplays those, we will fact check that. Same thing about her own record, what she held as a position before when she ran, for example, as a Democratic candidate in 2020. What are her positions now? If she tries to say, I never said that, or I never believed that, and if there's facts to counter that, we will try to bring that to the surface as well.
And Major, you know, we were talking earlier in this hour about how this isn't the first general election debate of this cycle, but it is the first between these two candidates. There are so many things that have happened since the last debate. And I'm curious, from your perspective, how much you think tonight's debate matters in terms of kind of where voters are. And I'm thinking of that in the context of this fact-checking, especially because our polling shows that people are wanting to hear more from Kamala Harris about her policies because they're not as familiar with her as they are about Donald Trump.
How could they be? They're only in the last few weeks evaluating her as the Democratic nominee, as the potential next president of the United States. And the Harris campaign has lots of fundraising, lots of sizzle, lots of energy, lots of volunteers. But a good portion of the American public in the battleground states, according to our surveys and other surveys, want to know more. What is your vision? How does it relate to my life? How is it going to improve my life? What's your explanation for things I'm unhappy with, whether that's inflation, immigration, crime, or something else? And who are you? All of those things are going to come up tonight in a fresh, new way because this is the first time, and as we just said earlier, possibly the only time you're going to see this one-on-one clash of visions, records, and rhetoric. And when there needs to be fact-checking for either candidate, myself and the CBS News confirmed team will be there in service to our viewers.
And I can think of no better team to do it. Major, thank you for leading that charge, and we'll check in with you again soon. Thank you.